Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Galloway, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Hard Rock International. And I have to say, I'm truly honored to be here today representing both Hard Rock International and Eastern States Exposition. And before we start, in true Biggie and Hard Rock International fashion, we wanted to start the program off with a little bit of entertainment. So we brought a gentleman who is certainly familiar with both the Big E and with the Hard Rock brand. A gentleman who sold over 30 million records worldwide. A gentleman you may know from 3 seasons on VH1's top-rated Rock of Love. You may have seen this gentleman on episodes of The Celebrity Apprentice. And most important and dear to our hearts, this gentleman is an avid philanthropist. With no further ado, I'd like to bring up, to provide a little entertainment this afternoon, Bret Michaels.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? Awesome, awesome. Well, first of all, I want to take the time. It is an honor to be here. I've been up, obviously, in this area many, many times throughout my career. Shot a lot of great videos up here. Played in the pouring rain up here. Had a great time, and I just want to say thanks again. I want to thank the Hard Rock. These guys have been friends of mine for a long time. I'm a huge philanthropist and humanitarian, and we've raised a lot of money, kicked off Pink October, and they're an amazing, beyond brand. They're amazing people and great friends, and we want to kick it off with what we all think is awesome, is music as a universal language, provides great entertainment, makes people feel great, makes people want to have a good time, and I thank you all for coming down and seeing this, and we're going to kick you off with a little old school. I'm going to take you back to some Poison, Open Up and Say Ah, right? Back to the original acoustic version, how we did this song the first time. We didn't write it, but the first time we performed it. This is called Your Mama Don't Dance, Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll. Feel free to participate, all right? All right, PD has no rhythm, so I'm going to get him started. We don't have a drummer, so... Can you help me with your hands a little bit? Come on. I need it. We need it for Pete. Come on. For Pete's sake. All right. Let me blow down this harmonica a little bit. Take it back. Your mama don't dance. Your daddy don't rock and roll. Help me out if you want to. Come on. Come on, Pete. Your mama don't dance, your daddy don't rock and roll. All right. When evening rolls around and it's time to hit the town, where you go, you gotta rock it. 2, 3. The old folks say you gotta end your day by 10. All right. If you're out on a date, you bring her home late, 'cause it's a sin. Well, I know excuse, you know I'm gonna lose, I never win. I'll say it again, and it's all because your mama don't dance, your daddy don't rock and roll. How about you in the back on this side? Your mama don't dance, your daddy don't rock and roll, all right. But when evening rolls around, oh, it's time to hit the town, where you go? Come on, play me a little rhythm, Pete. Roll it down. Driving and find a place to park. I hop into the backseat where it's always nice and dark. I'm thinking to myself, Brett, that girl's a breeze. The lights of mine, the guy said, out of the car, Longhead. Louie, you come with me. Say, look, a police ball, baby, ball swing. And it's all because your mama don't dance, your daddy don't rock and roll. Oh, Lord. Your mama don't dance, your daddy don't rock and roll, all right. But when evening rolls around, it's time to hit the town, where you go? Oh, come on, let's get it like this. Woo. just ain't cool. We ain't about a style. Your mama don't dance, Lord, my daddy don't rock. Your mama don't dance, no, no, come on, people. She just don't dance, no, no, no. Your mama don't dance, your daddy don't rock and roll. Oh, give me some noise. Woo! Thank you very much. Enjoy the day. All right. Thank you for having us. We'll see you in a bit. Hard rock. Woo. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks again, Brett. We really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to bring up the chairman of the Big E, Mr. Donald Chase.
Thank you again, John. Welcome to everybody. We're certainly very tickled to have all of our friends here in the room today. Before we begin our festivities, I would just like to welcome and introduce a few special guests. We'd like to begin by recognizing many of the elected officials, mayors, senators, state representatives, city councilors from not only West Springfield, but throughout the surrounding region. Could we please have a fine thank you for this group of individuals? And we thank you for coming. At this time, I would like to welcome and recognize a few special guests that we have here this afternoon. Martha Ty, Executive Director of the Parish Cupboard. Andrew Morehouse, Executive Director of the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts. Andrew. Mark Rivers, President of the Bronson Company. Richard Bronson, Chairman of the Bronson Companies. And certainly Greg Neffinger, the Mayor of West Springfield. At this time, it is my privilege to welcome Jim Allen, Chairman, Hard Rock International. And a warm welcome to Hamish Dodds, CEO, Hard Rock International. At this time, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce Eastern States Exposition President and Chief Executive Officer, Eugene J. Cassidy. Gene became president on June 27, 2012. Immediately thereafter, he received a phone call that has culminated in the event we are experiencing today. Gene joined the Exposition in 1993 as Director of Finance and later served as Executive Vice President. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gene Cassidy.
Thank you, Don, and thank you, everybody. Good morning, and I'm delighted to be your host today, and I'm honored to be here in your presence. Thank all of you for coming. Your attendance today is important to me personally, and as it's important to me as an individual, it's even more important for the community of West Springfield and this incredible organization for which I have stewardship, the Eastern States Exposition. I just used the term stewardship. Stewardship is defined by our friends over the river at Merriam-Webster's as the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. Stewardship is a serious word, and it defines a job that every one of us here at Eastern States Exposition takes exceptionally seriously. I've been blessed to be in this place at this moment in time. I'm here today to announce what is arguably the biggest economic development opportunity contemplated for this region in generations. An exciting once-in-a-lifetime economic development opportunity for the Big E, the town of West Springfield, and all of Western Massachusetts. An announcement that can only be compared to the one made from these grounds in the spring of 1915, when our founder and patriarch Joshua L. Brooks had the vision and foresight to fund and develop this tremendous facility, the Eastern States Exposition and the Big E. It starts with our 175-acre campus, showcasing all 6 New England state capitals, and is now the #1 tourist attraction in Western Massachusetts, New England, and the biggest cultural event that takes place east of the Mississippi. Mr. Brooks conceived of a regional enterprise that would showcase the best of New England's commercial, manufacturing, and agricultural contributions, a place where the region could come together, where an exchange of ideas, agricultural, historical, history, and industrial education could take place. A storefront for commerce from throughout New England and the region. Today's announcement is an opportunity to preserve the past and ensure the future as the Big E prepares to celebrate its 100th anniversary in 2016. Over ESE's nearly 100 years, we have hosted innumerable entertainers, celebrities, presidents, and leaders in the fields of business, industry, and particularly in agriculture. We've played host to pari-mutuel horse racing, auto racing, boxing, horse shows, circus, and the AHL. ESE has grown and responded to the needs of society while focusing on its heritage, its roots, and the education and agricultural features that it presents. Today's 17-day exposition generates $250 million for Hampden County. This internationally renowned organization is the single biggest regional contributor of tourism dollars to the greater Springfield economy, booking more hotel rooms, generating more restaurant sales and commerce and associated tax revenues than any other tourism engine in the greater Springfield region. We stand at the head of the pack, and the development we announced today will help us do more, ensuring our future while creating more jobs, creating more community revenue, and more entertainment for the benefit and enjoyment of the region we serve. This development, essentially adding another attraction to the Big E, will enhance and complement our ability to produce more events, book more hotel rooms in the region, sell more meals, and generate additional taxes for our town and the region. Eastern States Exposition, during fair time and non-fair, already books every hotel room in Springfield. And this addition will help us do more for downtown Springfield and the entire region. We believe that the Eastern States 175-acre campus, which is safe and a proven tourist destination, is absolutely the best site in Western Massachusetts because we have the requisite amount of acreage to host a regional resort destination casino as envisioned by the enabling legislation. And Eastern States Exposition can compete with the proven models that exist in Connecticut at Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun. We believe we're the place. We've been entertaining millions for 100 years. And if gaming is coming to Western Massachusetts, then we are the proven stewards who have been proven to be most capable hosts for such an enterprise. I've already stated that I'm blessed to be in this place at this moment in time, standing at the helm of Mr. Brooks's vision, leading a public charity that is an economic powerhouse for our regional economy and for my hometown. The place where I was born and educated, the place where I was raised, the place where my value system took hold and was built and influenced the most. The place I am most proud of being associated with, the town of West Springfield. Or as we would say in the ball fields at Mittenegg Park in the 70s, West Side is the best side. All of you here who know me know of my concerns that gaming presents to this fragile public charity. A facility that receives not one iota of support from the taxpayer, yet competes with heavily subsidized venues right over the river in Springfield, up in Amherst, and in Worcester, all supported by you, the taxpayers. as well as in Hartford, supported by the generous taxpayers in the state of Connecticut. Many of you may recall that in an article I wrote for the Springfield Republican last February, I stated that casinos posed a threat to the Eastern States Exposition's existence. The casinos south of the border have already changed our business model, whereby now we must charge for concerts that previously were free to the fairgoer. They have driven entertainment prices into the stratosphere, and in many cases by way of prohibition, have driven entertainers from our fairgrounds. At the same time, a casino development 1,000 yards down the road, over the bridge, will threaten our capacity to host the myriad of events and trade shows that we are known for and depend upon for the revenues that sustain us. A casino 1,000 yards over the bridge will imperil the very existence of this institution. This past summer, during my quest to protect the interests of this organization, I was visited by the Bronson companies, who were contemplating a development in the city of Springfield. By meeting's end, after learning the size of this campus, they wondered out loud if a casino project was something that our board of directors would embrace. We entered into a relationship with the Bronson companies, and after we completed an exhaustive period of research, dialogue, and exploration, our large and conservative board of directors from throughout Massachusetts and New England, many of whom earn their livelihood through agriculture and food production, twice voted unanimously to endorse and pursue this unique and synergistic casino development here on the grounds of the Eastern States. These earnest stewards of the Eastern States Exposition's mission could plainly see the need for the pursuit of this project. This project was something that was bigger than Eastern States. It was something that they could not contain or withhold from the community. This was an economic development opportunity that had to be presented to the community of West Springfield. At the same time, it was clear, it was evident, it was essential that the opportunity be pursued in order to preserve the history of Eastern States and ensure its viability for the next generation. By late fall, with the Bronson companies, we began a discussion with Hard Rock International, and we explored the aspects of this project at a very high level, specifically as an economic development and tourism project with our town officials and community leaders. After months of due diligence, we are here today to prepare ourselves to move ahead, to move with vigor and to move with confidence, with a focus on economic growth and opportunity for this organization, our town, and this region. We approach the centennial of our founding, and we have discovered a new attraction for our portfolio. Many fairgrounds in North America today have established gaming facilities on their grounds as a means of diversifying their entertainment offering and generating economic benefit for their communities. The world-renowned Calgary Stampede, the Delaware State Fair, Erie County Fair, right over the border in New York, are all notable examples. These attractions, like Epcot to Disney, will complement our annual exposition, enhance our customer experience, improve our facilities, and ensure that our mission will be protected by the financial wherewithal this economic development opportunity will provide. The creation of this ground lease will help us immensely. We will have the capacity to invest in new capital, upgrade our aged infrastructure and facilities, and leverage our exhibition and exposition business into a more robust, super regional center for trade, industry, events, tourism, and agriculture. I want to thank my good friend, my mentor, and the chairman of my board of directors, Don Chase, for his tremendous leadership skills and his commitment to this organization and our community. I want to thank him for the assistance he has provided me throughout my career, but most particularly in the past many months to get us to this moment. And now for the moment we're all here for. We have found a partner that shares our vision. We have shared visions with our partner. Their mission is as holistic and altruistic as our own. One whose roots and values, like ours, are in service, charity, and entertainment. A company with an extraordinary capability, an unparalleled balance sheet, and a sense like ours of making a difference in the community. This is a match made in heaven. I'm proud to introduce to you a man who is respected in his professional community as a leader, an innovator, and most important of all, and most importantly to the Eastern States and this town, a man who is known as honorable, Mr. Jim Allen, Chairman of Hard Rock International.
Thank you, Gene. Certainly, I want to welcome everybody here today on behalf of Hard Rock International. This is a great day for the brand. It's a great day for our employees. Great day, obviously, as Gene referenced, a marriage made in heaven. And, just to set the program a little bit, Hard Rock is a brand that's been around for 41 plus years. And we understand the entertainment business. We understand the necessity to make sure that if we make a promise, as Gene mentioned, honorable is something that I take very personally, that we can deliver upon. And I think that hopefully in my brief presentation this morning, we can demonstrate that the Hard Rock brand and its amazing history, the scope of the project that we are going to present here today, and the relationship with the Big E is something that will truly be, the leader in the presentation for a destination entertainment and gaming facility in Western Massachusetts. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Gene and to Don for allowing us today. I would like to thank Mayor Neffinger and the City Council representatives for allowing us to make this presentation in your city. One of the things that is very, very unique about Hard Rock, and you'll see in a moment, we are in 57 countries around the world. And there is no one else that's submitting an application to the state of Massachusetts that has that type of experience. Experience in respecting and working with local, county, state, and international governments. Most of our facilities on a worldwide basis, specifically in hotels and casinos, are in some type of partnership relationship. And when you see the success that we have had, I think it is clear evidence that demonstrates that we don't come into this particular jurisdiction, to this particular city, or obviously this amazing location that was created in 1916, assuming that people should roll the red carpet out for us. It's actually the direct opposite. We have spent countless hours trying to understand how we can make sure that not only the State Fair in its 20-day period in September of every year continues its amazing success, but it actually is enhanced. And I think that when you see our track record and our history, I think we'll be able to do that. I think the other thing that's very, very important, that really starts with the first interview of any employee on a worldwide basis, over 31,000 employees are under the umbrella of the Hard Rock brand. We start with the personality and to make sure that there's honesty, integrity, and they have the mindset of the philanthropic efforts that the brand was founded on. Isaac Tiger and Peter Morton founded this brand in 1971. And you think about the three kind of foundation blocks: love all, serve all, save the planet, and all is one. Now, you talk about visionaries. I mean, that is pretty amazing, because here we are now in 2013, and it seems as though that somehow maybe society has lost a little bit in loving all and serving all. And God knows we need to save the planet. We're now doing movies about how the planet is obviously changing. And certainly all is one. We have a saying, we leave our ego at the door. We are judged based upon our results. So it started with the founding fathers. It's continued through the amazing history. And I'm also very proud to say that Hard Rock in 2010, 2011, and now 2012 had record years. So we continue to grow a business. We're very fortunate there. Obviously, the business led by my colleague Hamish Dodds, amazing success. And I think that's very important as we make this presentation, because we're not a company that just wants to put machines and tables in a box. Hard Rock is a brand of entertainment. You'll see a video here in a moment, and what you'll see is some of the Hard Rock locations on a worldwide basis. And I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Hard Rock Hotel in Orlando, but that has to be the greatest family hotel in the United States. It is absolutely amazing. We're partners with Universal Studios and Loews Hotels. The hotel is the #1 hotel in the marketplace, and it clearly demonstrates that this brand is about entertainment, it's about families. When you look at the Hard Rock cafes on a worldwide basis, you also see, people taking their families, their children, purchasing our merchandise. We're certainly, astute business individuals. We recognize that a gaming component to any destination certainly helps the models of profitability and success. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we don't lose the mission statement. We don't lose the history here at the Big E, that this is just not going to be a casino. Gene and Don were very clear that is not the goal here. It is 100% a relationship that will grow tourism here in the city of Western Springfield in Western Massachusetts. If you look at the logo, we believe this marriage is so exciting that we actually believe this will become the destination in the state of New England, or I should say in the region of New England. Last but not least, obviously when you come into a community and you talk about $700 to $800 million project, there is jobs, there is economic impact. And we believe that once again we are the solution as we make our presentation eventually, not just to you here today, but to the Gaming Commission of the state of Massachusetts, that we have a track record, a proven track record. There'll be thousands of jobs created on a permanent basis, probably somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 jobs created from a construction standpoint. I'm here today to commit to you that we will hire local individuals first. Our goal is not to bring in a bunch of people from all over the world. Our goal here is to understand who is not employed or maybe who is looking to advance their careers. And I think that's something that we once again have a proven track record on. So to give you a little bit more history about Hard Rock and to maybe bring you up to date a little bit, if you will, on what we've been doing the last 5 to 10 years, we have an unbelievable video. Real quick, we'll show it to you and then we'll actually get into the specifics of the project itself. So I think if we could cue the video up.
It was a cool idea then, and it's a cool idea now.
First classless restaurant in the UK. The Beatles were over there and there were the Stones.
And then one day Eric Clapton came in. Actually used to be coming in for a beer, And one day he came in, he gave Isaac Tigert, one of our founders, a guitar.
To Hard Rock at different times.
With the help of Hard Rock International, I hope to really continue to make a difference.
Yeah, the Hard Rock legacy is a fantastic legacy.
This is DMC and the place to be.
Sign my name.
It's nice to walk into a place like the Hard Rock and see your stuff and people going, oh, how cool is that? Yeah. So really then you don't feel so bad about giving it up.
purchase supports the children of ESE Descalzos.
Hi, I'm Pete Townsend of The Who. We're here at the Hard Rock in Miami to kick off the Who t-shirt for the Hard Rock for the City of Hope, which is a cancer charity.
The charity we're doing this for is called the Lotus Foundation.
Well, that t-shirt is a mind-blowing experience. I really had no faith in this whatsoever, and it turns out to have been the most profitable thing we've ever done to support Crossroads.
I don't see what I'm doing.
So hopefully, I'm just going to step out a little bit so I can make sure I read all the facts accurately. Hopefully that gives you a great overview that demonstrates that the brand is a lot more than the famous Hard Rock Cafe from the early 80s. Hamish, myself, and the senior management team, we truly rack up millions of air miles a year trying to create these destinations on a worldwide basis. We think once again that's something that separates us from the other applicants that are submitting here in the state of Massachusetts. So just real quickly, we refer to this as our set list, so people are aware of who we are. There is 177 Hard Rock locations on a worldwide basis. We're now in 58 countries. I guess that went up since I started my presentation. It's hard to keep track. We do over $3.3 billion a year in revenue in the Hard Rock facilities alone. That's separate from our entity with our gaming business, Seminole Gaming. We have over 31,000 employees. Almost 80 million people a year experience the Hard Rock brand. And I give a challenge to everybody. Next time you go to the airport, see if you don't bump into somebody with a Hard Rock shirt or a Hard Rock hat or something like that. It is absolutely amazing the enthusiasm that people have for collecting our retail merchandise. Because frankly, so many of them understand that so many of these proceeds go back to help other people, both on a local, state, national, and international level. We certainly know how to serve food. We had over 17 million guests in our food operations, 16 million pieces of merch. We actually, between the Facebook and our database, we actually have over 10 million people in our combined databases between database marketing and Facebook. I don't think that includes Twitter. We're actually now approaching 10,000 hotel rooms, 18,000 gaming positions, 75,000 pieces of music memorabilia. Hamish always has heart failure when I say this, but I believe it's the largest collection in the world. I'm sure somebody could potentially challenge us that. But to the best of our knowledge, it's the largest collection in the world and the most valuable. Most importantly, it is music memorabilia that is not just associated with rock and roll. About 10, 15 years ago, the brand really made a decision that it is going to be the custodian of music memorabilia for all walks of music, whether it's country, whether it's rap, whether it's blues, whether it's jazz, whether it's Latin or Asian, or obviously current rock and roll, classic rock and roll, and yes, even the top 40 rock and roll. So we have some of those great, I remember one time we were talking about after American Idol when we were going to have Clay Aikman in, and somebody says, well, does he fit with the brand? I said, there's 27 million people a night that watch this guy. He definitely fits with the brand. So, but all kidding aside, most importantly, you know, and really staying in the tradition and the history of the Big E, last year we did over 20,000 live music events. So Gene and Don, if we can't help you there, I'm not sure anybody could. So, and as you saw in that video, you know, all those amazing stars from all different walks of life, all different generations, you know, they're supporting the brand because they know how much it represents as far as philanthropic and charitable efforts. So, including Brett Michaels coming here today. I mean, this is absolutely no exaggeration. I was at the airport, not last night, actually it was last night, and Brett personally called me, wanted to make sure how much he loves and cares about the brand, how much he wants to be here. He told me the story when he played here in the famous rainy night. So it really is, you know, not just Gene and I and Don and Hamish saying this. This is truly a marriage made in heaven. So enough of my boring comments about Hard Rock. Why don't we talk a little bit about the brand itself? Obviously, I mentioned New England. We don't look at this just as a West Springfield. We certainly recognize that we are in the town of West Springfield, and all the courtesy to the residents, obviously to traffic, to parking, to ensuring that the State Fair, the Big E event, not only stays the same, but it grows. So, but at the same time, we think that when we look at the competition and how they are landlocked based upon restrictions, in the parcels that they've announced, with 175 acres here and almost 40 of it dedicated to this amazing new resort, we believe this partnership is the true success as far as what our elected officials here in the state believed when they approved gaming for the state of Massachusetts, and specifically in Western Massachusetts. So we could have done a really cool guitar-shaped hotel out of glass, but we figured that may not work here in New England. So what we did was, and you'll see a couple of examples here in a moment, our design and development and construction teams are led by Joe Emanuel. Joe's been in this industry for almost 30 years, and where we once again are very fortunate compared to some of the other people submitting is we have a whole in-house design studio. So this particular slide demonstrates some of the pictures that we looked for, try to understand local culture, try to understand local architecture. And then we tried to marry that with our brand itself. So these are some different shots. Obviously, this just gives you some of the different palettes of the Hard Rock brand on a worldwide basis. This is actually a hand drawing that was done in our design studio by Rob Schaefer. Rob works directly for Joe. And you can see different versions of us working through of how we can make sure that we are the right partner here for the Big E, at the same time making sure we create something that is functional and that will be respectful to the history of, obviously, the city of West Springfield, state of Massachusetts, and New England. So that's what we came up with. So that's our first money shot, if you will. That's our first view of the new facility. This is kind of with the hotel in the background and what we're going to refer to as the low rise, here directly kind of dead center. This kind of gives you another kind of arrival point of view coming into the port of Cashera. This particular shot here kind of gives you a connection kind of to the hotel, the gaming, the entertainment, the retail, and obviously eventually connecting, which would be to my right, over into the existing facilities at the Big E. We had a lot of conversations about making sure we had the right foliage, we had the most greenery in the design. We certainly recognize what New England represents. So we wanted to make sure that you don't pull up to just a huge parking lot with tons of asphalt. We wanted to make sure there was a soft and complementary approach, obviously, to some of the historic designs and buildings that are here in Massachusetts, specifically in the city of West Springfield. Hopefully everybody knows where we are, but just in case, you should know that we will eventually make presentations to potential bondholders. So now let's talk about the project itself. What we've done is we have tried to ensure that the integrity and the historical buildings of the site are not affected or disrupted in any way. However, at the same time, we have committed to do whatever Don and Jean would like us to completely revamp, re-energize, and rebuild the existing outdoor entertainment concert venue. Somebody had asked, I think earlier, we were talking this morning, how would it work? Well, the way I envision it is that we would not book a show without working with Gene and his team to make sure that it's complementary to the facility and to the destination. Certainly know my friends down at Foxwoods and Mohican, but they are truly competition. Now we'll have somebody in the marketplace with the Hard Rock brand that can compete with them and obviously have it become complementary to the legendary history here at the Big E. So real quickly, I'll just take you through the concept. You kind of saw the kind of the rural approach in the initial rendering. This particular facility is designed to connect over to the Big E. This particular area here is what we refer to as the entertainment, retail, restaurant, and a few other amenities. One of the great things we have with Hard Rock is this, as I mentioned, this amazing collection of music memorabilia. What we are evaluating is actually creating a museum, a destination, we refer to it as the vault, of major pieces associated with music on a worldwide basis so that people could come in and see it not just potentially as a piece of memo on a wall, but actually get into kind of a more museum presentation. If you look at the Hard Rock brand, we have relationships with truly some of the largest, most successful celebrity entrepreneurs and chefs in the world. And the world is not an exaggeration. I'm not at liberty today to give you any of those specific names, but I would tell you every phone call that Hamish and I have made, people have said to us, we're in. So we truly believe with the tremendous legacy that we've had with Hard Rock locations on a worldwide basis, that this particular complex here really geared towards entertainment, destination retail, nightlife, is something that is, connecting into the original entertainment concept that was established back in 1960. We would be lying to you if we didn't tell you that gaming is part of the portfolio. You can't build $700-800 million buildings if you don't have the gaming component. But also at the same time, it also gives us the ability to really create additional jobs. There's certainly jobs, through all these areas here. But when you look at the casino amenity attached to a destination like this, there truly is a job for anybody. Anybody that can pass the background checks, that wants to work. We have entry-level positions, we have accounting positions, technology positions. You name it, those jobs will be available. Very shortly, we will be out in the communities with job description books so that people can be aware of the type of positions that will be offered and available. In the hotel portion of the building, the tower actually would sit above this. There is a convention area of about 25,000 square feet, hopefully to enhance the existing convention and tourism business that happens here at the Big E. In addition, if you're familiar with Hard Rock pools, they're kind of legendary, if you will. So there will be a pool component on that roof deck in this particular area here that would connect to our spa. BOH, does anybody know what that stands for? Back of house, we have to work somewhere. So that's our back of the house where we'll be working. We have a legendary buffet that has received more awards than we can count. It's called Fresh Harvest. It is truly, and there are certain versions of this that people have done, but we really put the whole kitchen in the dining room. I mean, literally, you've got fire going on in the dining room. Fresh Harvest is a legendary restaurant that we own the rights to and operate. So that particular venue will be here. Hard Rock Live, obviously we're in the music business. We have tremendous relationships with the #1 and #2 promoters in the world, being Live Nation and AEG. Somehow we're probably the only organization that both those groups talk to. So we are neutral, we are Switzerland, and we get along with both of them very favorably. Both of them also very excited about, always working with the Hard Rock brand. And most importantly, and clearly without further ado, parking. We certainly recognize, we've already hired local consultants, Ty and Bond, a local traffic engineer and civil engineers, working with us and have been working with us to make sure that we get it right. That we get it right so that we don't displace any of the existing parking. But also, the most important thing is that we can create an environment with accessibility in and out of the site. You can actually see here, we've been evaluating that little yellow line. We've been evaluating potentially going in other directions to create multiple accesses to the site, certainly understanding that we have to comply with all local zoning codes, make presentations to the building department, city council, the mayor, police chief and fire chief. But we look at that as a team effort. We're not going to come in and say it has to be this way. I don't live here, though years ago I used to live in Mystic, Connecticut, but I certainly understand that there is work to be done in conjunction with, obviously, the municipality and all of our consultants. So I think in conclusion, we have the ability to create this true entertainment destination, and we are spread out. We're not going to be landlocked in a situation where we cannot create some amazing amenities associated with a entertainment destination like this. Last but not least, I'm involved with a little group with Stevie Van Sant, Bruce Springsteen, Bono, Elvis Costello, and Martin Scorsese. And it's called the Little Kids of Rock. And basically, I have a letter from them stating that they would be happy to work with Hard Rock for us to build a little rock and roll school, if you will, so that we can work with the local education departments, local colleges, so that people can learn a little bit more about music, so that it isn't something that's forgotten about. Because frankly, music is in our DNA. Real quickly before we wrap this up here, so if there was a nuclear disaster today, there would be 3 things left. Does anybody know what it is? Cockroaches, Cher, and the Hard Rock brand. And people say, well, why the Hard Rock brand? And my guess is 1,000 years ago, 1,000,000 years ago, there was, 2 individuals with a rock and a stone. And I always say, get in your car, have a song come on that you haven't heard in a long time, see if it doesn't change your mood. Maybe it's about your children, maybe it's about your husband or wife, maybe your parents, a great sporting event, a great entertainment event. Music is in our DNA. We have no control over it. The Hard Rock brand represents that on a worldwide basis and has been doing so for over 40 years. So I think at this point, this kind of gives you a little bit, just a more blow up the slide that I just went through. Oh, went a little bit too fast. It's going the wrong way. There we go. Just, we have one more video to show you. And the video actually is something that is truly amazing. But before we do that, the economic impact obviously speaks for itself. Whenever, and in fairness, all the people that are submitting here in Western Massachusetts, you know, when a $700–800 million project comes to any particular region in the United States, there's going to be tremendous economic benefits. What we would tell you is that we just have a tremendous experience at doing this. And when we add in some of our efforts with the brand history, our balance sheet, and our philanthropic efforts, we believe that separates us from the other applicants. So now we're going to have a little video we're going to show you. But Hamish is one of the most humble individuals that I know. And I think what's really important here is as we look at how the brand works with so many different charities, what you'll actually see is Hamish personally working in places like Africa, South America, all over the world, trying to help individuals. It's very easy to write a check, and believe me, we're going to write some checks today, but I think giving back one's time is the most important thing. Right before the holidays, I personally, my wife and I cooked for 300 and some people in a very, very economically depressed area. Every year I do it, I say I'm going to die the next year, but I always love going back doing it. It's in our DNA, it's something we believe in, and I believe this next video is going to give a little demonstration of how the Hard Rock brand, not only is Hamish and I speaking, you know, in a presentation like this, but actual footage that demonstrates our commitment.
Imagine there's no hunger. Hard Rock International has, and along with our longtime partners, Why Hunger, and the gracious Yoko Ono, we're working to end hunger in the Americas, across Africa, and around Asia. Hard Rock is not simply about raising money for charity. Instead, we're working with established local organizations on the ground. And we've experienced this firsthand as these local community leaders have shown us their work and told their stories.
I think every one of us working for Hard Rock can make a big, huge difference.
And we thank you for supporting our school. You really helped us. Thank you.
There's not enough done yet. It could still be better.
Hard Rock is helping to change the planet by working with these communities. But they are also changing us. Join us in the fight against hunger.
I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
So I think, and first of all, once again, thanks to Hamish. He personally leads the company in these particular efforts, and notice how the room gets real quiet because it's such a emotional topic, and we are really fortunate that our founders created this avenue. But talking about it and doing it are two different things. I think we're about ready to wrap up here, but certainly philanthropic efforts are what we do, and we've kind of, whenever we have the honor to move into a particular destination, we like to work with a local, a global, and a regional charity. And today we're happy to announce that our global efforts on behalf of Hard Rock New England here in West Springfield will be Farm Aid. Now, frankly, we've had a lot of work with Farm Aid in the past, but very interesting, if you're not aware, they're actually based here in Massachusetts. So we will continue to work and enhance our efforts with Farm Aid. On a regional basis, it'll be the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts, and on a local basis, it'll be the Parish Cupboard Food Pantry. The company is going to donate $25,000, but I am personally going to donate $10,000 to each one of these individual charities, so that hopefully everyone here today understands that it isn't just lip service. The personal donation will come from my own checking account. My wife will probably kill me, but what the hell, We're here to have a little fun and give back. but hopefully it's a demonstration, that we are serious about this amazing opportunity that the Big E has allowed us, obviously for the mayor and city council, allowed us to make this presentation in this amazing town with this tremendous history, and our goal is to win. And I believe this is the best brand in the world. We will do whatever it takes within honesty and integrity. We believe nobody can outwork us, and we are excited to be partners with everybody here in Western Massachusetts. So with that, I would like to close my remarks with just a couple thank yous. First of all, to Mark Rivers. Mark, I'm not sure who Mark is. So I don't want to be mentioned or anything, but Mark works for Skip, as Don introduced him. But Mr. Bromson and Mark they could have gone to any gaming company in the world, which maybe they did. I haven't actually asked that question, but we were very fortunate to be in a relationship and a history that dates back to with one of our board members. To be allowed this opportunity. And I can honestly tell you, we put this deal together in a very, very short time period. I have seen more casino locations and sites in the state of Massachusetts over the last 4 years. And like they always say, the best, comes at the end. The best, wait for the best is yet to come. But Mark and Skip, thank you so much. From our team internally, Nelson Parker, I'm not sure where Nelson is, but one of the things we always joke is that we have to provide divorce counsel because our poor employees work around the clock. Nelson and the legal team here at Greenberg Traug really, in the last couple of weeks, worked tremendously, obviously, with Eric Newcomber and Jay Walzak out of our legal department in Orlando. John Galloway, how do you guys like the room? Kind of a neat environment, huh? It's very important. Gene was saying, some people could have gotten married in this room, so we don't want to take away any of the great memories or treasures that have been in the room, but we felt it was important to kind of just give you a little bit of feel of the Hard Rock brand. And John and your team just did tremendous, and our local staff from the cafes at Foxwoods and in Boston, we truly thank everybody for helping us. With that, obviously Hamish, this event wouldn't have happened without his leadership, so Hamish, thank you very much. With that, I'm going to bring back up Gene for giving me the gong. But thank you so much, and we're honored to be part of your community.
Thank you, Jim, for that great presentation. At this moment, I have a great, distinct pleasure to introduce a fellow St. Thomas the Apostle alum. Actually, I think there's a bunch of us in the room from St. Thomas. Makes me proud. An insightful businessman, an architectural thinker, and an innovative leader for the town of West Springfield, its mayor, Gregory C. Neffinger.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, and welcome to the town of West Springfield, the city of West Springfield, and we're very proud to have Hard Rock partnering with the Eastern States Exposition. I won't take too many words. No one ever says to a politician, "You didn't speak long enough." Our city is the most unique in Western Massachusetts, one I'm very proud of, having been brought up here. But I also spent about 7 years in Minnesota, traveling the Midwest, a year and a half in the Republic of China, 6 years in New York City, and as an architect traveling and seeing many things. I think West Springfield in Western Massachusetts is one of the most unique areas in the United States. I'm very proud to live here and to be here, and I'm very proud to have this venue come here. We have many amenities in the city of West Springfield. We're bordered by 2 rivers. We have great natural resources in Mitten Lake Park and Bear Hole Reservoir. We have the largest rail yard in southern New England in town here. We have a electric power plant, and of course we have the Eastern States Exposition, really a world-class organization, one of the largest in the United States as a exhibition grounds, but really because of the United States, that really makes them a world-class organization. We're so happy to have them here, and thank you, Gene, I appreciate it. And also Don Chase, I'm very proud to know you and Gene, both West Siders, having grown up here and really seeing that we really have great local talent, great local thinkers, and people who are really proud as an American to see your thoughts, and having gone to St. Thomas School and really seeing that our local education, our local culture really can have an impact on our great country. So it's been great to get to know you guys. I'm happy and excited to be here. Our gathering today to announce the potential siting of the Hard Rock Resort and Casino, New England, within our borders. It speaks to two things that are important to West Springfield. Number one, West Springfield is pro-economic development. The mayor's office has been busy working to attract new businesses and industry, which means creating jobs and building our tax base. This year we have lowered taxes, the first time in over 12 years, and we are now beginning to work on our next budget, which we are expecting to lower taxes again. I have a 3-year plan for lowering taxes. How many communities in Massachusetts do you know that lowered taxes this year? Not many. And we're very proud of that. We've worked hard to do that. Number two, West Springfield is a community that supports its institutions. Eastern States Exposition is one of those institutions, a formidable anchor on the eastern border of the city for nearly 100 years. And we just had the equestrian show that came here. Probably the largest on the East Coast. I went through the parking lot, saw license plates from Nova Scotia, Texas, Alabama, Arkansas, North Carolina, New York, everywhere coming to West Springfield, a venue that is great and we're very proud of. Today we're announcing the potential of marrying significant economic development with one of our institutions. I say, let's explore it. The idea, unequivocally, has great potential. Hard Rock Resort and Casino is an internationally known entertainment resort destination. The Big E combines education, agriculture, and entertainment. Our police and fire and municipal personnel already have extensive training and experience in dealing with a popular entertainment destination, including the Big E's million-plus visitors who travel our streets each September. In my tenure as mayor, I have had the opportunity to attend a number of seminars and meetings regarding the siting of casinos in Western Massachusetts, and in recent months, I have participated in discussions as a partner with Hard Rocks International as it came to fruition. I fully appreciate that this organization has recognized the potential of West Springfield and the transparent and open manner in which they conduct business. To Hard Rock International, welcome. To Eastern States Exposition, thank you for being in West Springfield. You'll find an open door here in West Springfield. And I'd like to also let you know that I'm announcing today a forming of an entertainment and gaming commission that will be studying the impact of the traffic, the economic opportunities, and other things that are going to be a concern to the people of West Springfield. We're dedicated to bringing good things, economic development, and trying to see what are all the issues so that the residents of West Springfield feel like that we're representing them well. Thank you for being here, and I'll turn it back over to Jean.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. For now, we will have a short 10-minute press conference Q&A. Guests, if you could please stay seated and keep as quiet as possible. Members of the media, my colleague Jill will have a microphone on the ground. When you have a question, please raise your hand. She will come to you, state your name, media outlet, and question, and direct it to one of the 4 gentlemen on the stage. We will have 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started. First question, please. Please stand.
Jim, Brian Burnell, New England Cable News. Mr. Allen, what's the biggest challenge that you face here?
Oh, I think very, maybe we turn this off.
Hello? Okay. I think echoing the mayor's comments, we want to make sure that we work, obviously, with the mayor's new announced local commission to understand and work with the community so that we address any concerns with egress and exiting and obviously parking here at the site. One of the great things about the site because it's a tremendous size, we have the ability to go vertical. So as I showed in the renderings, certainly the ability to build a parking structure. And when I say build a parking structure, I'm not referring to some ugly concrete kind of thing that's going to become an eyesore. If we were to design, not if, we will design a parking structure that will use the term, will have a skin that matches the architectural structure of the building itself, and obviously with the historic kind of nature of the New England and Western Massachusetts.
Fred Bever from New England Public Radio, WSCR. I'd like to ask you about what happens to the nonprofit status for the Big E, and also any concerns you may have about the historic character of the site with this new kind of venue.
Well, as Jim has already said, the developers have shown us some renderings, and they're very sensitive to the architectural detail of our environment here on the grounds as well as throughout the region. Eastern States Exposition is a public charity, will remain as a public charity, and this is an opportunity to enhance our underpinnings. You know, our facility is 100 years old. Most of our buildings, we have 44 buildings, 31 of which were built before the Second War. They're capital intensive in nature. Frankly, we could use hundreds of millions of dollars to maintain them. And you know, this partnership is not something that threatens our standing as a not-for-profit agricultural organization.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Ray Herschel from ABC 40 Springfield. Traffic obviously is a major concern. You've addressed that. How do you intend to get traffic in and out of the Big E all year long, especially during the 17-day run of the Great State Fair? How is the traffic going to be coming in and out?
Well, I think, Ray, as you've heard Jim speak, you know, today's the first down. There's 80 yards yet to travel down the field. You know, they've got some of the best resources in terms of really nationally for engineering. They've hired Tighe and Bond. These things are of paramount concern to all community members, and they'll have to be addressed. As we're standing here right now, it would be foolish for me, reckless for me, or anyone else to make some estimation. I think some of that remains to be seen. But certainly, our partners are well aware of our concern. Without parking, there's no fare. And so they'll be working with their shoulders close to the stone to get those answers answered intelligently, those questions answered as intelligently as possible, as soon as possible.
And Gene, I can certainly add, you know, one of the things in the, obviously we position this as an entertainment destination, but at the same time there is the gaming component. And a successful casino, whether it be here in West Springfield or Foxwoods, Mohican, any of what I'll refer to as the regional markets, the goal is, we use a term called rated play. And frankly, that goal is to have 70% or higher as rated play. Based upon rated play, we then have the ability to create marketing events, specific marketing plans that can drive traffic, if you will, volume, during certain days or certain peak periods. So certainly when we sit down and, you know, the construction of this facility is probably a 22 to 24 month timetable, we'll certainly work with Gene and his team, you know, to make sure that all the excitement and the entertainment on, you know, the grounds, if you will, during the 17 days of the fair, and for that matter, any other time of year when they're having events, is that we coordinate our marketing plan so that, you know, we're not trying to bring in 10,000 people to the casino and they're trying to bring in 100,000 people here. So it will be a coordinated effort. And as I mentioned earlier, certainly we've already started the process of looking at access. We're aware of certain projects that are happening in this particular part of the state, specifically potentially with Memorial Road, and there's other different avenues that, you know, we want to be part of the solution, not come in and say it has to be this, or hey, as long as we have our entrance, we're not interested in trying to work with the community. It would be the direct opposite. We are 100% sincere, because frankly, we won't be successful if we're not part of that equation with Gene, obviously with the mayor, the police chief, the fire chief, etc., and city council and the local building and zoning officials.
Brendan Monahan, ABC 40 here in Springfield. Jim, that video is great that you showed. It talks a lot about big cities, Orlando, New York, Boston, all those ones. Can you name any other place that's a small town like we have here in West Springfield that you guys have built in terms of a big, large parking structure, a big hotel fitting into the landscape here?
You know, there's a tremendous facility that's the perfect example. The Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, and casino. It's on 100 and some acres. It is west of the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. In fact, when that project was announced back in late 2000, you know, there was a lot of the similar questions. How are people going to get in? This is kind of a little bit, this isn't a city environment. And frankly, you know, we went to the state. In that particular case, this particular facility is owned by the Seminole tribe, so we're now dealing with Native American lands. We actually gave back an easement for 100 years for 12 acres of trust land. We actually improved the roadways, built, God knows how, about 2 years ago, we spent $50-some million on a parking garage. And that was the third garage we built. So I think that would be a real apples for apples comparison. And frankly, we could have the mayor of the city of Hollywood or any of the surrounding communities, I'm sure, give us a testimony that we've been just really tremendous neighbors. So it's as much our concern. I certainly would not say that it's greater, because I wouldn't want to be disrespectful, obviously, to Gene and Don and the city here, but it's equally a concern for ourselves, that our patrons, that we work together with the Big E to make sure this is addressed. And frankly, the good news is that when you're talking about the type of dollars that it takes to be competitive in this particular environment, there are line items from an economic standpoint that we can create to make sure that it's properly funded. You know, we're not waiting on a grant from the federal government. We're not hoping for, as the mayor said, tax increases. You know, we'll work, with the infrastructure so that it can be successful. And obviously, most importantly, working with the city itself and Gene and Don.
Sandra Constantine with the Republican newspaper in Springfield. But one quick question about the hotel, how many rooms it would have, and also I wonder if you have anything in place to deal with the issue of problem gamblers.
The hotel right now, we're looking at 400 rooms. It could be possibly a little bit more, but right now, as we look at the business model, we want to make sure that we don't end up in a situation where the facility is overdeveloped in this phase, and then potentially we have an issue with, space that's not needed. There's an old saying, never build a church for Easter Sunday. So, we want to make sure we build a product that can be competitive on a daily basis. I am a firm believer, where some of my colleagues in the industry disagree, but I am a firm believer a higher win per unit creates more energy on a daily basis versus, just adding machines upon machines upon machines, where you kind of have this, tunnel kind of affect, if you will. So we would try to drive a business model that creates more energy and more excitement, obviously with the complementary of all the entertainment facilities. As far as problem gambling, another great question that we can answer unequivocally. If we look at the Compulsive Gaming Association, John Fontana, who is the president of our Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa, is on the board. Frankly, two of the Hard Rocks are on sovereign lands, so we're not required. And initially we were not required. We actually volunteered it in the compact negotiations to comply with those things. But frankly, we did the direct opposite. All of our advertising, all of our employees go through compulsive gaming training. If you're aware, it's between 2.8 and 3.4% of the population may have a challenge with the aspects of gaming. So when you compare that to some of the other vices, shopping, if you will, it's an issue, but we're aware of it. I've been in this industry since 1979. I can tell you there's countless customers where we've told them to self-exclude, but we still allow them to come into the shows because frankly they've become part of the family. So from our standpoint, we'll be involved. I'm not sure how the Massachusetts Gaming Commission is going to create a vehicle so that we can be part of that, but 100% our property president, our employees will be committed to the issue of compulsive gaming. As I could also bring in letter after letter after letter from sheriffs and from county officials, attorney generals, about some of our programs dealing with alcohol and people, consuming alcohol and getting vehicles are truly recognized on an amazing basis. So we'd be happy to provide those type of documentations to show that, we're not just giving this as an answer. There's true factual history behind it.
Okay, one more question. Hi, Jim Kinney with The Republican. What will this facility's relationship be with the Seminole tribe?
This particular transaction is a transaction, it's a ground lease between Hard Rock International and obviously the Eastern States Expo. So the tribe itself is not involved, nor their sovereignty, but the tribe is the majority owner of Hard Rock International.
All right, that concludes the press conference for today. I would now like to invite Mr. Hamish Dodge and Mr. Jim Allen to the front of the stage for a short presentation.
Another presentation. Gee. I thought we wanted to hear Brett sing a little bit more, you know? We're almost done, guys, promise. Do I need this or no? Okay.
Now, I have sang on a lot of stages, but I don't know about guitar, Hamish. I used to get kicked off. Okay.
All right, and if Mr. Cassidy and Mr. Chase can please rise.
Okay. John, can play?
Rock out a little bit. Big smile, yeah.
Right. We may need Brett for a little help here, you know? We don't want to embarrass the band. Next year there'll only be 1,000 concerts, down to 20.
All right, thank you very much.
Just a quick, whenever we enter a new venue, we always create a specific guitar that is for the kickoff, if you will. So this is our first Hard Rock Hotel Casino New England guitars, and obviously it's a gift from Hard Rock International to Don and to Gene. We truly look forward to another 100 years of success here at the Big E. Thanks, everybody.
Jim said it very well. I think we need Brett up here. I was walking back to my seat and somebody said, you flew Brett Michaels all the way out here to sing one song. And I said, hell no, we did not. And with that said, I'd like to introduce Mr. Brett Michaels back to the stage. Brett, come on up and join us.
You got it.
Thank you once again. And I got to tell you, great questions, by the way. Great questions, and again, I want to take a moment just to say this sincerely. I have worked and been around the Hard Rock for a long time, and I mean this sincerely. Many years, 26 years of my career, and besides all the other stuff that I get to do with them, they're very passionate about what they do. And again, with my Life Rocks Foundation, the philanthropy, the fact that they are an unbelievably great I'm going to say brand, but company and people to be around. So again, thank you all for taking your time coming out here, and I just love to play music, so it's a great day for me. I get to be around friends and play some tunes, so it's a good day. All right, this next song that we want to do, talking about music being a universal language, a couple things I love to do. One, I thought they'd just be fun. I did one off the first or the second Poison record. This one I'd love to do for you now is, this is a song that I remade. It's one of the first songs I ever learned to play. I've been a lifelong type 1 diabetic, and as being a juvenile diabetic, I've been taking 5 shots a day since I've been 6 years old. And the first thing I learned, music, has helped get me through some of the toughest times in my life, through the brain hemorrhage, the operation, all the other stuff that I went through. Music has done a lot to reinvigorate my life and has helped me. And this song I love playing is one of the first ones I learned on the brand new record. This is a band that I absolutely love, and we love to do it for you right now. Some Leonard Skinner, Little Sweet Home Alabama. Let's do that and have some fun. All right, are we ready? Come on, Petey. Woo. Turn it up, come on. 3, 4. Big wheels are just to keep on turning. Carry me home, gonna see my kin. Singing songs about my Southland, come on. Miss Alabama once again, I think it's a sin, yeah. Her Neil Young gonna sing about her. Her old Neil gonna put her down with.
Does your conscience bother you? Now tell me true, sing it with me now. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Woo. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Here I come now, home to you. That muscle shows it got swampers. Baby, no, pick a song or two, yeah. And on and on, now, baby, tell me true. Come on, sing it with me. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue, yeah. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you one more time. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue, yeah. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you one more round.
Explosion. Thank you. You have to forgive me in the middle there. We do this whole breakdown part. I had a complete mind fart right in the middle of that song. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. After I said the operation went well, I may have been lying partially about that. All right. This song that we would love to end the afternoon on right now. This is a song I wrote this in a laundromat in Dallas, Texas, waiting for the only pair of pants I had at the time, and still clothes to dry. And I wrote this over a broken heart, and you all helped to make this a #1 song. Big moment in my career. I never knew this would happen, but it's a great day. And again, I want to thank the Hard Rock and my friends here, and again, you all for spending your afternoon to come out. This place is going to rock. It's going to be amazing, and I know they're going to bring it, right? So help me do this one, everybody. It's a great song to lighter, phone, whatever you got, hold it up in the air, make a little party out of it. This is called Every Rose Has Its Thorn. You ready to sing it with me a little bit? Come on. All right, there we go. All right.
We both lie silent, still in the dead of the night. Although we both lie close together, we feel miles apart inside. Was something I said, something I did, my words not come out right. Though I tried not to hurt you, girl, though I tried, I guess that's why I should cry. Every rose has its own end, just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sing a sad song. Every rose has its own. Yeah, it does. Go on, Chicago. Listen to my favorite song, it's playing on radio. Hear the DJ say, love a game of easy come, baby, and easy go. But I wonder, does he know, has he ever felt like this? And I know that you'd be here right now if I only let you know somehow. I guess every rose has its own end, just like every night as it's dawn. Just like every cowboy sing a sad song, right? Every rose has its own, yeah. Though it's been a while now, I can still feel so much pain. Like a knife, she cuts to the wounds heal, but the scar, that scar remains. Come on, Pete, play that guitar. Mr. Pete Epic on the guitar right there. Woo. Little note for note. I know I could have saved the love that night if I know what to say. Instead of making love, we both made our separate ways. But now I found somebody new, and that I never meant that much to you. To hear that tear me up inside, and to see you cut me like a knife, she cried. Every rose has its own, yeah. Just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sing a sad song, yeah. Every rose has its, Thank you very much for allowing me to come up here to my friends at Hard Rock. Thank you. You make it rock. Thank you very much for having us this afternoon. Woo! All right. Got me all fired up. I want fireworks. All right. Thanks again to Brett Michaels. Thank you, Brett. So that ends the... Happy New Year. Happy New Year. For you. That ends the formal portion of today's presentation. And we didn't bring you all the way here not to serve you. We've got some excellent treats that lie ahead on the table coming out from our Hard Rock Cafe staff that's been working diligently over the last 2 days here to prepare that. A few housekeeping notes. There is a card on your table, a comment card. We'd love to hear any thoughts, feedback from you on today, on the future, any questions you have. So fill those out. We'll be collecting those at the end of the day. Also, don't forget to get your gift bags on the way out. There's one separate for media, which has a little more information on it, as well as our guest. It also includes in it a commemorative Hard Rock Hotel and Casino New England t-shirt, which doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, so I don't want to see them showing up on eBay being sold anywhere. But you'll have that. You'll also have in it a real nice furry teddy bear, which was part of our World Hunger Year promotion that you saw Jim take you through the video. So a teddy bear there is part of the donations to that charity. So again, thank you very much. Lastly to mention, we will put program boards on either side. We're going to bring easels out so you can get a close-up look at the project as well. Thanks again for having us here. Big shout to the ESE team. They've been fantastic all week, and have a great day.